Good morning, thank you very much for joining me on this cold, crisp winter's day. I've got 5 tips for you today on what I use and things that I've done or that I do through the winter months. Just make life a little bit easier and a little bit better when winter riding. Definitely hang around for tip number 5 because I will let you know what this tennis ball will do for you. So winter riding, tip number 1 is kit. Good kit, but essentially heated kit. My first winter as a developed test rider many years ago, I didn't think I was going to survive. I really didn't. I got so many layers on that I was uncomfortable. I couldn't move. I felt like the Michelin man. I'd got newspapers shoved in places that really shouldn't have newspapers shoved in them. And I just could not keep my core temperature up, which meant my concentration was crap. On this occasion, I popped into the factory. There was a couple of seasoned test riders there, and I said to these guys, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you survive winters because it's killing me. I don't know if I can do this. And they laughed at me and they said, Lee, you just need to get yourself some heated gear. And I was like, heated gear? What the hell is heated gear? A couple of days later, I went to the bike show and I bought myself an Oxford Gilet heated jacket or heated gilet and a pair of gloves. And I got to say, it was a game changer for me. I went to work on that Monday morning after the Sunday at the bike show and I got steam coming out my collar. And my whole riding experience just changed overnight. I was safer, my core temperature stayed warm all day, and it really is a game changer for winter months, so heated gear. And there's plenty out there. I've got a Gerben jacket on today, but I also own a Kais, and I would wear either. I've got heated gloves, but you know what? Because I've got heated grips on my bike, I very rarely use the heated gloves. So if I was to say, what's the one piece of heated clothing I would buy, would be the heated jacket. Pretty much that does me all temperatures. It was -5 in my last video. I was roasty toasty. Tip number 2, always carry a motorcycle puck. Winter or summer, but mainly in the winter. The ground is so soft, and even gravel car parks can be, just from the amount of rain, just from the amount of bad weather we have through the winter, is a motorcycle puck. But I'd go on better. I call this the buddy puck. And pretty much it's just a motorcycle puck and I attached a piece of string to it. Because how do you get your puck back when you sat on the bike? Because that's what I struggled with. I'd go and get my wife's puck and pick that up for her. She'd be sat on the bike. I'd get on my bike and I'd be like, who's going to pick my puck up? And the amount of pucks I've had to leave in fields, because if I've had a tent and everything else on the bike, I just can't get low enough, it's a big bike, to get down to get this puck. So pretty much, piece of string. You could position it under the side stand with a piece of string and then just hang it on your handlebars. You don't forget your pucks there, and once you're back on the bike, you just take the string off the handlebar, you pull the puck from under the thing, wind it up, put it in your pocket, away you go. Tip number 2, get yourself a puck. Tip number 3, low sun. It's one of my biggest bugbears of winter riding is low sun. And the way that I would get around this through the winter months, especially on my full face, because I've got a peaked helmet, I'm finding that I haven't had to do this. But on my shoey, every winter, I would get the roll of electrical tape out and I would pretty much make a sun visor across the top of the helmet. Probably 1, maybe 2 strips. It doesn't damage your visor. You can take it off when the summer months come back. Once I'd done a full winter of winter riding every day, 350, 400 mile a day, I'd need a new visor on the way through the winter months because it just, the road conditions and everything else really does destroy them. So yeah, electrical tape. Make yourself a sun visor. Don't be getting that low sun direct in your face. Tip number 4. Not only does this help combat the cold and give you an extra layer, liners, and they're not expensive. I got these from Decathlon. I think they was £3. They're also quite nice when you just stood around and you're not on the bike. They give you an extra layer in your gloves. But the best thing I found about these, now have you ever tried getting a wet hand into a dry or wet glove? When you've stopped for fuel, you take your gloves off, you fill up, you took a glove off and you're there and you're pushing your damn hand in the glove and you can't get it in and it's stuck, and I get like that and I start to get air rate. This takes away all that. It really does. you can put these on with wet hands. These will go straight over a wet hand, no problem. And then if that's a wet glove, it will just slip straight in. No nonsense, and give you an extra layer of warmth. If you're changing your gloves because you've swapped to your dry pair, but your hands, by the time you put your helmet on, your hands are wet again and you've got no way of drying them. So these are amazing. I nearly dislocated my finger years ago just trying to push wet hands into a wet glove. These makes life so much simpler. I have had occasions over the years where one of the fingers might have come out the glove when I pulled it out. How do you get that back in? Well, extra tip, use your clutch or your brake lever just to push that back in the finger. It definitely works. So yeah, tip number 4, go and get yourself a nice set of liners, because it will make winter riding a lot easier, especially when it's raining. So tip number 5, and I know it's the one you've all been waiting for. This tennis ball, and I've had it a few years now, and it's done a fair few miles, has definitely given me probably 1,000 to 1,500 extra miles out of a clear visor every winter. Because you know what it's like. They put so much salt, so much dirt, so much crap on the road, it gets on your visor and you wipe it with your glove. Well, just attach one of these to your handlebars. Cut the top off, get yourself a little bit of sponge. I normally get a car sponge and cut loads of these up, and then I've always got spares. And then just make sure it's wet. And always, before I'd go out in the morning, I'd clean my sponge, make sure it's wet. That'll hold water. You can put it in there, attach it to the bike on your handlebars. When you're riding along, you can't see because your visors are covered in mud. Handlebars, take it out, give your visor a good whoosh with water. The wind blows it off, you don't scratch your visor. That really has. An old test rider called Steve Harper, who's an absolute legend. He's still a test rider for Triumph now. He showed me this years ago, and I was like, it was on his bike, and I was like, what the hell is that? Why have you got a tennis ball on your bike? And when he explained to me, it made so much sense. So I adopted it, and I've used it ever since. I just drill 2 holes in there, cut the top off, get yourself a decent bit of sponge, attach it to your handlebars. I only have it on in the winter months, and then you've always got a visor cleaner, 2-hand, while you're riding. And that's the best tip I've got, tip number 5. So as ever, just enjoy your motorcycles. There's no reason to put them away for the winter. If you've got the right kit, you've got heated kit on, if you've got a pretty nice crisp day like today, do you know what? You can just get out there and have a ride. It's amazing. Go enjoy your bikes. I hope you're enjoying the videos. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if any of these tips is something you will adopt, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe out there.